glorify you, Jesus. Magnify you, Lord. You're worthy of the glory, Lord.
And the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Last week we concluded with the fact that Jehovah Rapha is best expressed when you're able to remove by grace what you previously couldn't remove at all. And today we're going to look at Jehovah MKaddesh or Jehovah MKaddesh, whichever one is easiest for you to express. And to get your spelling right, that would be a capital M, apostrophe, capital K, A, D, D, E, S, H. And if you wanted to say the long term of the name, MKaddesh, that would be M, E, K, A, D, D, I, S, H, E, M. And you will probably find different spellings of all of those as you look in different types of Bibles. The main thing is, you know, he's the one that sanctifies you. Because as we get into this today, you're going to begin to understand why we had to experience Jehovah Rapha first, the Lord God who heals, because you are now about to be placed in a different dimension of your life. Everything that has been building up to this point, to this stage, has now been a divine appointment. Now you can remember back when I told you that all of your stages in life have your fingerprint on them. And you have to know that as it has your fingerprint on them, that's for the different stages of your life. Because if you're in a mature place and still have an infant fingerprint, it won't work. And just like you're trying to be mature and grown up, and you want to be in your mature place, but have yet to get out of your diapers, that won't work either. So the whole idea that I've been building you up for, because this is why I do year-long series, because it takes little by little, by little by little, by little by little, to build up upon you. And as that builds you up, and you begin to take all of the pieces of information and you put them together, you start to realize exactly who you've been made to be little by little, so that you grow up in strength and then be able to handle your mature places in life. Now understand, sanctification from the Lord will not happen without cleansing work. Watch what I'm about to say. Cleansing work done by the Lord to us. And that goes together with cleansing work done by us. Watch. Sanctification from the Lord will not happen without cleansing work done by the Lord to us, in combination with cleansing work done by us for ourselves. We're going to start out in the book of Leviticus chapter 20. I'm going to read verses 1 through 8. Because see, to sanctify means to make ceremonially or morally clean, to make holy, to purify or consecrate. So that means you're set aside, you're made holy, you're purified. And that's what being healed first is about, getting you purified to the point so that when you are put in your new place, you're not bringing a bunch of old diseases and old mindsets to your new spot. That's crucial. Because if you still got the same old mindset going to a new spot, it ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. You can get in a new relationship, but if you still got the old mindset, won't work. You can go to a new job, but if you still got that old slack mentality about working, it ain't gonna work. You can be you can have all of your debt totally wiped out, but if you still got that old mindset, you're going to end up right back in the same place. And that's important to understand, because in Leviticus 20, it lays out something for us to be able to recognize. Leviticus chapter 20, beginning at the first verse. And I don't find it any coincidence that this is found in Leviticus 20, because the number 20 means redemption. With the number 20 meaning redemption, it's within here that you find these words. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. Now the god of Molech is a god. He's a god of the Ammonites. The Ammonites would not help the children of Israel when they were on their mission and their journey going from Egypt to their promised land. As they were going through the wilderness, the Ammonites would not help the children of Israel. As a matter of fact, they were trying to burn folks. They were trying to burn children. And that was the whole thing. So here is why God is saying, if anybody that gives any of his seed unto Molech, you give them up to be burnt, you give them up to be a part of this God that would not help the Most High Jehovah, I'm going to wipe you out. And there's a reason why he's so brutal about this, okay? It says, And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. He's saying, since you have chosen to serve another God that didn't want to help me help you, I'm going to let you be destroyed by that God. I'm going to let that God that you're wanting to serve so bad, that you'd give your children over to him, I'm going to let that God wipe you out. Because watch. It says, And if the people of the land do any ways, in verse 4, do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth of his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man, and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a-whoring after him to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. So notice what that's saying. That's saying, after God has pronounced the curse on this man who decided to give their children over to the god of Molech, after they have chosen to do that, the people, the children of Israel, were given the commandment of, if you know that they've done this, you're to cut them off. And if you don't face them and cut them off, I'm cutting you and your family off. I'm getting you for not addressing them. I want to make sure this is crystal clear, because I'm trying to show you why, when you've gotten to this stage that God is ready to take you to another level, that you can't take none of your old stuff with you. You can't take none of your old mentalities. You don't want to face problems. You can't handle a new place. Because your new place is going to have its own new set of problems.
Right.
So you got to know how to face problems before you go to a new place. So if you didn't learn how to face things in your old place, what you think going to happen in your new place? So now that's going to make God look bad. That he promoted somebody to a position that they weren't ready for. That's what it's going to look like. And this is why he's so crucial about this, because watch, I'm about to get into the I love yous here in just a minute. It says, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a-whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. So in other words, for those of you who don't know what a familiar spirit is, and just so you know, I'm going to have to look at Jehovah MKaddesh again next week, because there's a higher and deeper level that I've got to show you about these familiar spirits. But the whole key that I need you to get today is that a familiar spirit, that means that I love you. I love you, okay? I'm just trying to help. But that means grandma, mother, the father, the aunt, the uncle, that one that was just so close and dear to you that has already died and passed away. And then when you feel like that you need to pray to them, that's a familiar spirit. And he's saying, don't do that. He's saying, if you do that, you're separating yourself away from me. Because you're asking somebody that I created and they completed their assignment in the earth. Now you're asking that person to take care of you when I already got a legion of angels to take care of you, and I've got a lifestyle set to take care of you, and you want to dwindle it down to asking this one person to take care of you that doesn't even have the ability to take care of you. I know that's painful. I know that's a rough thing to think about. But I'm trying to show you about the holiness of our Father and show you the sanctification that he is trying to get to you. So if Jesus called on legions of angels and he had that ability to do that, what makes you think you're going to be able to call on one and it take care of the problem that you've been fighting with? Now watch, because this is very crucial. Verses 7 and 8. This is why I had to explain that in such detail, because of verses 7 and 8. It says, sanctify yourselves. See, so he's telling you there's some works that I need for you to be doing while I'm doing some work also. So that's why I had to tell you and show you that about the familiar spirits and about how you're handling your kids, because if you're not doing the right works with them, you're working against God changing your situation for you. Does that make sense? So if you're doing things that are actually working against you getting cleansed and against you getting sanctified, you're hindering yourself from actually getting to your next stage. So he's saying these things, I need for you to make sure that you're not doing these things. All right? Now watch. It says, sanctify yourselves therefore and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. Okay? That's a personal thing. He's saying, I want to personally be your God. And I've told you, every time that you see that capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, that means the self-existent and the eternal Jehovah. That means he's everywhere present, he's nowhere absent, he doesn't need your help to do what he's doing. He just wants you to make sure that you're setting yourself aside so that he's free to do what he wants to do when he does choose to do it. Does this make sense? Yes. So he's saying, I need for you to sanctify yourselves. You make sure that you're keeping yourself naturally, morally, and legally clean. Make sure that you're keeping yourself lined up as the best that you know, according to his word. And I'm going to show you why he's saying according to his word here in just